Welcome to Podcast from the Pit.
Good day, everyone.
I'm Casey.
I'm Mate, or Matt, whatever you want to call me.
I've always said Mate.
Yeah, that's good.
That's what I've always took it as. But
morning, Ronnie.
It's Ronnie.
Morning, Ronnie. So we want to welcome you to the sub basement of the pit.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on.
Anytime.
So, how are we going to get this started? I never thought this far through.
We just talked for a little bit, get to know Mate a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we just referenced the name, so I can tell you a little backstory about the name, where that came from, if that's interesting at all.
Yeah.
Anyone wants to know that. My real name is Mate Mylar.
Okay.
I used to play in a rock band and like touring around Atlantic Canada and just playing local shows and clubs and whatnot. And just in the band, it was kind of a nickname. We'd change each other's name just ever so slightly. So over the years that we were playing all these gigs, I became Mate Mylar. I think it was the lead singer in the band that finally coined that one. So yeah, we just kind of sort of switched everyone's names, and mine came out to Mate Mylar. So when it was time to just come up with a name for whatever it was I was going to do on Instagram, I thought it was just going to be like collection pictures and that sort of thing. Nothing special. It's like, well, I'll just use that one. It's kind of a sort of fresh nickname, and yeah, it stuck, and here we are.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
Cool. So what did you play in the band?
Sorry, say again?
What did you play in the band?
I play guitar.
Sweet. Bass or just regular?
No, just regular, all 6 strings. That's kind of a lie. I really only played 3 of the 6.
Okay.
What kind of music?
It was alt rock, kind of Smashing Pumpkins, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Siamese Dream is one of my favorite albums.
Oh, yeah. That's a banger from start to finish.
Oh, yeah. Plus, it was a timepiece for me because my dad passed away at that time that was out. So I cannot hear a song off that without thinking of my dad.
Right.
So it's very, it hits me every time. I love that album.
I've got some songs like that. It hits me like that.
Yeah. One of the great things about music.
Yep. Universal.
Yep. So.
Thanks, Ronnie. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about colloquialisms in the other parts of the world and whatnot, but yeah, it really fits in Australia and UK and whatnot. It's just kind of natural.
I dig it.
Nice.
So, have you always been in the toys, or
what
started this toy photography thing?
Photography kind of started as an accident. I'll abbreviate and gloss over a lot of the details, but I was in a place where my collection wasn't displayed; it was in storage, and it was mostly just the toys I had as a kid, and a few things that I picked up at comic shops here and there, just being on tour with the band and whatnot. So I was in a place where, okay, I have a lot of space in my house now, and I can set up my collection. So I did that and built shelves and whatnot, and took a whole bedroom and made it into kind of a toy comic book room and whatnot. And so I get it all set up, get all the toys on the shelf and everything. I'm like, well, that was fun, but I still want to play with them. I don't want to get on the floor and play with them, but I still want to interact with them somehow. And I wasn't sure what that looked like. So I started thinking about it and like, well, my dad always had model trains when I was growing up. So he had these big train layouts, and I love playing with my Joes on those layouts. So I thought, well, I'm going to build some dioramas. And so I bought some supplies and went to the model railway shop and talked to those guys and talked to my dad and just started building some things. And the first one that I made was, say 4 feet by 2 feet, just a desert terrain with a Sky Striker, crashed into it and 3 explosions and whatnot. And the Sky Striker I had at the time was not complete. I didn't have the canopy. I didn't have a lot of the pieces. Landing gear was gone. And I thought, well, it's it's a nice piece, but I'd like to display it somehow. And I figured, well, the crash is the best way. So I built that big diorama, and with no more intention than just having it on display in my Joe room, and took a couple pictures of the progress, and then kind of like, well, this is kind of interesting. If I have Ace and Airborne kind of escaping the crash, and one guy's helping the other guy is injured or whatnot, maybe a rattler in the background, and that's kind of an interesting shot. So I took that shot, and I took the final top-down view shot of the whole diorama, and put that on Instagram. Didn't really think anything about it, and it got a little popular.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So then I have to I have to do this again, and well, I need another diorama to do that. So then I built some more terrain pieces and dioramas, and along the way, I'm thinking, in my Joe room, in these massive battles, there has to be muzzle flares and effects and explosions and
be.
things like that. So I really want to figure out a way to do that practically. Because again, at the time, I'm not thinking about on camera or photography. I'm thinking about just a display for my personal enjoyment. So then I thought, well, hot glue and LEDs. That seems like something I could get into, and I've done some electronics work before, so I'm familiar with soldering and that sort of thing. Yeah, so then I started doing explosions and backgrounds, and we all know the card art and the box art has explosions on everything, so that's kind of like just free range to put explosions.
Right,
And that kind of got people were interested in that too.
yeah. Oh yeah. I know. I look forward to every time a new picture comes up, because I'm like, what's he done now? And I just tried my hand at making my first diorama because you inspire me.
Nice.
I mean, there's so many people out there who do. Ronnie, he does great stuff, and there's so many. Emerald Knight, he does great stuff. There's I can't think of all the names right now, but I start with something I thought would be a little easier, and I'm working on a Masters of the Universe diorama.
Nice.
So we'll see how that turns out. I'm having fun doing it.
And that, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. I mean, sometimes I do thought experiments, like, what if the internet goes away? What if Instagram goes away? Like, do I need that to feel fulfilled as an artist, sort of thing? And I mean, it's nice. Likes are nice. Everyone likes likes, but yeah, I always come back to the same conclusion. I'm doing this because I enjoy it. I have fun building things. I have fun making things, and I have fun playing with my toys.
Yeah. I mean, and it seems like I don't want to say a legit way to play with your toys, because I don't think there's any wrong way to do it.
There's no wrong way to play with a toy.
You know, I tell people I'm at work that, they talk about me I'm getting ready to turn 52 and I still buy all these toys. I'm like, well, I love toys, so I'm going to do it.
Yep.
You buy what you want to buy, work on your classic car. That's great. I put my money in plastic.
Hey, I will be right back. I'm having some technical difficulties.
Okay. So, is just Joe you collect, or what? Do you collect any other toy lines?
Yeah, I'm into Transformers. I don't collect any specific lines, anything new anyway. Just recently, just over Christmas, I took the plunge, and I'm now collecting G1 Transformers. So I got some of the reissues. I got a Devastator, some of the Dinobots. I'm just kind of looking over here at my display.
Yeah.
I just got a Jazz, obviously Optimus, and I'm really looking forward to the Missing Link Optimus that's coming out with the articulation. And believe it or not, I've gotten into Hot Wheels in the last year. As a kid, I had a few, but I never had the track. I never played with that. You popped up on my YouTube recommendations, like diecast racing. And so I went down that rabbit hole real hard. And then I started thinking, well, wouldn't it be neat to see Transformers Hot Wheels racing? So I'm currently building a massive, and I mean, it is massive, racetrack that will be G1 themed. So it'll have some scenes from the G1 cartoon, but there's some crossover there with G.I. Joe, because they used a lot of the same backgrounds and the same music and that sort of thing. So I made some custom Hot Wheels scaled G.I. Joe vehicles.
Oh, nice.
Got the vamp there, and let's see if I can make this work. Please work for me. Please work out. No, okay, we'll do the hiss. The hiss is more reliable. So we got the hiss tank here. It just pops open like this. And there is a little switch on the bottom. And I'm probably not going to have something. Oh, I do. Yeah. I was not prepared, clearly.
Well,
We're
I know
never
that feeling.
prepared. We just kind of talk.
Well, good. I can talk. All right. So the headlights
Oh, that's awesome.
light up.
Oh, that's cool.
So this one's a little janky. I got to resolder that connection. You see, it's just wiggling there, and it might. Yeah, it just fell. It fell clean off. Anyway, I swear I know what I'm doing. So yeah, it'll be like Hot Wheels scale races between the Vamp and probably the ATV and the Stinger and Thunder Machine
Nice.
and that sort of thing. I've been acquiring some camera gear, so I've got like GoPros and video cameras and the gimbals to whatnot to do all the flying, sweeping shots. And I've created my own Transformers named Shifty, and he's the organizer of the underground Transformers Racing League that Joe's going to crash, and a lot of crossover there. But the racetrack and diorama is big enough that I can use it for like 3 3/4 scale O-ring photography as well. So kind of dual purpose. And I'm not sure if I'm sure someone has, but I've not been posting as frequently lately. And that's because I am like way over my head with building this stuff. I'm on the 4th iteration of this track. It's taking up 2 rooms of my house. Yeah. So it's a big build every time I realize I've done something wrong and I have to tear it all down and start all over again. But this build, this is the one. This one's going to work. So we're there. And welcome back. You got your technical issues there sorted?
Yeah. Welcome to the internet in rural West Virginia. It is non-existent at times, and it aggravates the dog crap out of me. This is not the first time this has happened. I figured, I'd move to where the Wi-Fi is in my house, and all of a sudden everything just crapped out on me. So I'm gonna have to make some phone calls and say, "Listen, look here, Jack. Y'all need to get this working, or we're gonna have to chuck it. There's another route."
Yep.
So we've lived in this house for 26 years, and we've never had good phone service here.
Mm.
So I don't know what the deal is. But anyhow, enough of my grumbling and griping.
I have a excellent girlfriend who is more than supportive of my hobbies. She is actually a toy collector as well.
Nice.
So we share a lot of the same interests. Now, full disclosure, she does not live here, and if she did, then maybe the dual room track might be a talking point. But no, she's great. She enjoys the track. She enjoys the GI Joe and the Transformers, and yeah, we go toy hunting almost weekly, and pretty much any chance we get. So yeah, I look out for stuff for her, and she looks out for stuff for me. We have some similar interests. We have some differing interests, and yeah, it's great.
So what
That's
she
awesome.
collect?
Sorry?
What does she collect?
She's into the Disney Lorcana card set right now, which is pretty sweet. She's collecting some Transformers. She's really into Ninja Turtles.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with Ninja Turtles.
My wife likes Care Bears and strawberry shortcake and some pops.
Oh yeah.
But
yep.
She supports all my collecting, so I support hers, which is not as bad as mine. But I think you have to have that mutual support, or else it doesn't turn into a hobby; it turns into a fight.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think I'm back up on the internet. So I'm going to back out of here and join you on the other.
All right.
Okay. When you get back, we'll start the slideshow.
Ooh.
And I have to apologize ahead of time for the slideshow. I do not do these pictures justice, but
I'm sure it's great.
We're learning. There'll be a lot of like empty space, but everybody will be able to see just how amazing these are.
So if I drop out this time, I'm probably going to be slinging stuff. It will not be a pretty sight in this house. Go full bull moose on this thing.
All right.
I got a hammer here somewhere. I'll cast the demons out of this thing.
we call hammers attitude adjusters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got a tomahawk here somewhere, so not the helicopter either. Oh,
See, I apologize for the big waste of space here, but when my wife does all my tech stuff for me because I'm not a computer guy. When we made it just this picture, we lost the top part of the bat, and I just think that's too good not to have on there.
yeah. That is beautiful.
Yeah, this is an amazing picture.
How did you
I was
do
very
that?
happy.
How did
Okay, so there's an LED, just like a regular, LED, hot glued to the front and the back.
Nice.
He's actually posed in such a way that his weight is leaning on Beachhead's gun.
Okay.
And then on the back, I just took some black plastic and cut it up with a pair of nippers, some side cutters, and added some extra hot glue on the LED on the back. And as the glue's starting to cool, just use a pair of tweezers or forceps or whatever to pull the plastic away to make it feel like it's coming out of the back. And yeah, that was it.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
How long does it take to do a shot like this? I mean, to set it up.
It's about 45 minutes now, which is a rough average because I've got all the explosions. I've got the dioramas that I can mix and match and make fresh scenes. All these blast effects stay together. So I've taken them off the bat and I can reuse them on other things. I've done some, one was Slaughter, smashing two heads together. That's the same effect. I just pop it off and put it on someone else. So I've got a pretty good arsenal of weapons that I can use when it comes to doing a shot. So 45 minutes to an hour is about the average. The longest I've ever taken on a shot was 3 days. That was the that was 3 18-hour days. The Sky Striker and the Rattler from the
oh yeah, that issue of the comic.
Yeah, the salute flyby. There was a lot of rigging involved and clouds and a projector on an entire wall in my house, and then I'd kick lights and it was a bad scene. Every once in a while, I get pretty frustrated. But on the third day, when I finally had it all set up and I could take the shot, that was pretty glorious.
Oh yeah.
This was just amazing. Blew my mind when I seen it.
Yeah. I like the smoke and everything.
Oh yeah. All the details just insane.
Yeah.
Now the Stalker.
Yeah. And the chemtrails coming out of the jetpack there, those are actual full sticks of hot glue. So just heat up the end and stick it on the back, and that's what's holding Stalker up.
Oh my gosh, that's cool. And I'm guessing just a little LED or something to light that up.
That's right, one on each engine. And that's it. Then run the wire down the hot glue, and it hides it.
You make it sound simple, but it's not. I mean, the detail on this is so good.
Yeah.
This is just one of the reasons why every time I see a new picture come up, I'm like, just look forward to them. I like this one a lot because it reminded me of the comic.
The Imposter.
Yeah.
Yeah. This dichotomy between these two, it's just so rich for ideas. Because I mean, you've got the Imposter, which is he's every bit of that word, and then obviously the real Coco and that dynamic there, and there's a lot of interesting scenes you can create with that.
That was Fred 7, right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
That is so cool. I like the helmet laying in the foreground.
I'm glad you noticed that because the contrast is very low between the color in the foreground, and I was afraid that would get missed. But I'm really happy you picked that out.
Yeah.
What'd you make the rocks out of? Is that styrofoam or
That is
like
actually drywall. During COVID,
drywall?
I got tired of walking out of one room in my house and into the next. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to make this quicker. And I got a sledgehammer and I took down a section of wall. And midway through taking down the section of wall, I looked at the debris I'm making. I'm like, oh, I know what I can do with this. So I stopped that project for like a week and then made this diorama. And then I had to go back to finishing dismantling the wall and framing and putting a door in. And so, I mean, that's all done now. And I actually did another wall too, because I was so happy with the efficiency getting from one room to the other. Yeah. So COVID was just, knocking stuff down and then repurposing all that debris instead of throwing it out.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's sweet.
Great shot. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Sky Striker. And again,
Yeah.
just hot glue, LEDs. I used to use some translucent orange paint, some like Tamiya on the hot glue. Then that stuff ran out long ago. My local model shop hasn't gotten any in a very long time. So I just stopped with the orange. I mean, it looks good enough without it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks great.
Looks literally like they're rockets, like taking off. That's so
And
cool.
that's cantilevered. I built I'm not sure what to call it, but it's this really ugly wooden 2x4 monstrosity arm thing, and then I took a broom handle, cut the broom off it, and drilled some holes, and that goes through a couple of pieces of that wood, and so the broom handle cantilevers out, and then I put a what was it? I think it's 1/4 inch nut receptacle on the end of that, so then I can screw things on and off of it, and so that's what's holding the Sky Striker up, and screwed a clamp on the end of the broom handle. And again, it's all just old junk wood from people are throwing out, and broken brooms and whatnot, just repurposing what I got around the house.
Yeah,
that is so
that's
cool.
awesome.
So how do you mount the Sky Striker to it? Do you like just hot glue him on there, or just balance?
Sometimes the hot glue is really good because it doesn't mark the model, it doesn't melt the plastic, it doesn't get that hot, but it does hold at least well enough that I'm comfortable with leaving it for a shot, so like a day or so.
Yeah.
This particular shot, I don't think I used hot glue. I put a clamp. I got a bunch of mic stands and like mic stands that I've adapted clamps for. So you just screw them on, clamps from the hardware store, and the fuel canister underneath of the Sky Striker is just perfect for the clamp to fit around it. So it's being held on that, and then the entire angle of this shot is set up to hide that clamp, because I mean the wings of the clamp are a little bigger and they're coming out. So then I got the camera just a little above the nose to hide that, and then glued the missiles on to give it some perspective.
Yes, I agree, Nick. Incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nick.
Now, I randomly, just because they're all good, they're all really good. So I just grabbed like 20 something pictures randomly.
Cool.
Yeah.
This one's my favorite.
Yeah.
I love the tomahawk, and this one is just awesome.
Yeah, really happy with this one. I do have a nitpick though. I'm not super thrilled about the white cotton on the bottom. There wasn't enough haze there to cover that up. So to my mind, instantly I see that and I just see cotton.
See, I don't see nothing. I see smoke coming up. The way it looks like for me.
Looks like smoke to me.
I like it.
We're each of us are our own worst critics.
Oh, absolutely.
But
that's human nature.
I don't see what you're talking about. I see like smoke billows coming up. I don't know how you could have improved that.
Well, thank you.
That you do amazing work. So you are the master.
Thank you very much. Interesting story about something that's kind of in the picture, but I'm sure you wouldn't notice right away. The lift ticket has his mic. And it's not because I had it from childhood. I did have the tomahawk. I did have lift ticket, but the tomahawk I got at a yard sale, so it didn't have the canopy. Didn't have any of the missiles. Yeah, didn't have any of that stuff. So, getting back into collecting, finding eBay, and wanting to complete my tomahawk. There was one in New Brunswick, which is the next province over. It's about 3 hours drive from me. Found on eBay and bought it just for the canopy. It was like $30 maybe and $10 shipping. So bought it for the canopy and it gets here. And so I'm taking the canopy off of that to put on mine and I'm hearing something rattling inside. So I give it a shake and the microphone falls out.
Oh,
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
You love
So
stuff like that.
I couldn't believe it. Yeah. That's only happened to me twice. I bought a Cobra Soldier on eBay that turned out to be the Viper pilot.
I think
Yeah, I
my
was pretty
biggest
happy with that too.
surprise. My biggest surprise was I bought a well for $60 at Joe Fest 2 years ago, and when I opened it up, it had all the I don't know if they're called veins or the things that
Yeah.
break apart so easy.
Yeah.
They're all intact and inside of it,
That's sweet.
and I couldn't believe my luck. Because
Yeah,
I
that's a
would have,
great score.
$60, I'd buy it without that. I'd get repros. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's just for me. I'm still going to buy repros for it. I'm not putting those on there.
I was just about to ask what you thought about repros, but that answered my question.
No, I have.
don't bother me at all.
If I
No.
ever sold anything, which I'm not really a seller, I'm a buyer.
Mm.
But if I did, and it had repo stuff on it, I would say so.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everybody can choose if they want to buy something with a repo or not.
Yeah.
I get that. A lot of people, I'm not going to spend a bunch of money for a repro mic for my lip ticket. He's just going to be mic-less. I'm fine with that.
Exactly. I mean, I'm to the point where I've bought Stinger steering wheels so much. I'm over it. Like, I've got 3D printers now for making dioramas and other things. So yeah, I can just make my own parts.
Morning, Tony.
Tony.
But
I don't know if you guys are knowing Tony's got his YouTube channel up now. He does amazing stuff. Throw him a like, throw him a sub. He's a good dude. I can reach out and ask him anything. He's a good man.
Like for me, I don't have Sergeant Slaughter's swagger stick that he came with.
Yep.
So there's a wild cherry tree outside of my house. I walked over there. I measured him out by the hand, like comparing them to his hand. So I cut a few sticks off of it and I whittled them down, sanded them off, varnished them, stained them, varnished them. And he has his own perfect little redneck swagger stick now.
That's amazing.
Well, I'd say it's amazing.
Some of that stuff, I mean, just a little extra effort you put into it makes it more special than
exactly
going out and buying one for $100 when you buy the figure for $30. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Amazing. I bought a repro Sergeant Slaughter stick at Joe Fest for $5. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. And like Outback, I made him a walking stick.
Nice.
Except I took a torch on his and I burnt rings all the way up it.
Very cool.
Yeah. I like stuff like that. And it's just, this is quite possibly one of my favorite pictures that you've done.
That is awesome.
I don't know how many times I've mentioned you on here with the Fatal Fluffy.
Shout out to Pete from Joe Nation for making this guy for me. He does amazing work.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
We was going to have him on here and something happened and he was sick and couldn't be on here.
Oh.
We got to try again.
Yeah. Going to definitely try again. He is like one. He could package that and sell it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And he gave me so much support when I first got into posting pictures. I mean, idol of mine.
Yeah.
Great dude, great work.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, genuine fellow.
And you all did that, and I seen the build up for it, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then you dropped it, and I was like, shut up and take my money. That is beautiful.
I mean, I just want to go watch the cartoon now. You know,
Yeah.
when I see that.
Work.
Awesome.
I'm hoping with Super 7 doing O-rings, there's rumor that they're going to do a Fatal Fluffy.
I'm so looking forward to the Super 7 O-ring stuff.
Yeah.
It would be a missed opportunity if they don't.
Absolutely.
I'm hoping they do a little one and a big one.
Definitely.
I would throw money at it all day. I
Yep.
mean, that's glorious.
Yeah, when the HasLab was announced, I immediately like, oh, okay, I need to do that. So this is actually a vintage Sky Striker. It's not the new HasLab one. And again, it's just a probably 3/4 of a stick of hot glue in underneath that seat and an LED to get it happening.
How do you make it look so like curvature and jagged in that hot glue?
That's just the hot glue gun. You know, put after you adhere it, you just put the nozzle in, heat it up a little bit, and pull it away, and you can use your fingers to pull it away, or like a toothpick.
Kind of shape it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, that looks great.
Now, the more you shape it, let's see if I get this right. The more opaque it is, like the cloudier it becomes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just put your hot glue down and leave it, it's going to be pretty clear. But the more you knead it and fold it as it's drying, it will become kind of cloudy. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just, different applications. So if you need that really bright color or bright center of your explosion, then I gotta not touch that at all. And as it gets out from the explosion to kind of make it a little cloudier and a little fuzzy, diffuse, I think the kids say, a little more diffuse.
I have a Mauler or a Mobat I need to make a blast effect for, so I might have to talk to you about that here directly.
Absolutely.
That's glorious, so I'd love that.
Yeah,
I can totally make you a blast effect and then send it to you, and you can re-engineer it and de-engineer it or reverse engineer it or whatever you like.
Okay.
Yeah, super easy. I got like tons of wall warts here. I'm not. See, that's something that I use all the time. Wall wart, dude. Is that something you guys have heard before? A wall wart?
What is it?
Do you know a wall wart? Do you know what I mean?
No.
I did have one. I'm gonna off camera.
Right.
1 second.
Okay.
That.
Oh, okay.
That would be a wall wart. So, your big plug that plugs into the wall, and on the other end, you see, I got my breakout gator clips with the the drill bit to get into the center of the barrel, and then just clamp the other one on there. But what I'll do for you is I'll just I've got tons of these things from guitar pedals kicking around. So I'll just cut that off and I'll solder on the LED, and you plug it in the wall, the LED will come on, you get a blast effect.
Huh. And here I was just going to paint one.
I paid nothing for the wall wart. The LED is like 5 cents, and it'll probably take like 2 cents worth of glue. So I mean, it's nothing.
Man, I'm
Still
not
very
worthy.
Nice.
Oh,
this is awesome.
He's toast.
Love the treble bubble.
Huge fan of the treble bubble.
Oh yeah.
I want it like depth with this one. I want him to be in the middle of danger and to feel like the action is coming from off screen and he's headed straight for it.
You nailed it. You nailed it. Because
he looks like he's gonna have a bad day.
Yeah.
I love that. I never had a treble bubble growing up, so now I'm gonna have to get one.
Highly recommend it, either classified or vintage. I mean, obviously the classified one is bigger and a little. I mean, I don't want to say better engineered because I mean the original has such a place in my heart, but yeah, the little one, the original one can be a little finicky, and there's some finicky parts there, but I really like it. I like the form factor. I like the way it feels in my hand, both as an adult and as a kid. It didn't feel too big as a kid, and now it doesn't feel too small. It's a great little toy.
Yeah, I dig that.
I had one as a child. I loved it, and I have both of the classified ones. Maybe I might pick up another one or something for a nice picture or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's a curiosity question. Since you have or had one, I'm not sure if you still do, but the original and the new one, the mine that comes with it, have you noticed the size difference? It's
I
like,
never had the mine as a child because I got it in a trade with somebody.
Okay. So, I mean, I've got the classified one right here.
Uh-huh.
And it's in my Joe room, so I don't have the original one. But to me, and I might be way off on this, but it almost looks like the classified one is sized for the original, and the original vintage one is sized for the classified because it's like this much bigger, the original.
Huh.
And so I'm not sure if Hasbro maybe did that on purpose. Say like the original one, yeah, it was kind of ridiculously big. There's nowhere for someone to carry that. But I mean, this one, I'm not sure you'd want to carry a mine on your lap, but there is physically space for him to move it around in the vehicle. So yeah, I just thought it was interesting. This one kind of looks and scales better to the original, whereas the original one works with the class. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe maybe just a fluke.
I've heard people talk about that, but I've never laid hands upon it and looked at it, or has never seen where Hasbro said anything about it. So
Right.
Yeah, back when I was a kid, we used to trade toys all the time.
Yeah, I got rid of all of my Ninja Turtles for GI Joes. I kept my Transformers. All the Ghostbusters stuff went. I had some Rambo. All that stuff went.
I traded all my Star Wars for GI Joe, and I don't regret it.
No regrets here either.
I tried to trade all mine for all my Joes and Star Wars for comic books, and that didn't pan out.
Now
I got to sort
again. I have to apologize for the blank white space here.
That's all right.
But I love the stun, and this picture is awesome.
Yeah.
Repro flags. I can't remember what I used for the actual red bits, but the top bits, and shout out to Toiler on Instagram, gave me the idea for this. That's a ketchup bottle. Just cut the flags out of a ketchup bottle and glue them onto, I think it was like, I think they're straws. I think they were like red.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah. From WD-40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
lubricating. Yeah. Those red lubricating straws. That's what those were. And then the actual flag were just cut out of a ketchup bottle. Obviously wash the ketchup bottle out, but yeah, the plastic ones.
Why would you want to wash it out first?
Right.
Oh, to each their own.
That is so cool. Oh, poor Skyhawk.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's my childhood Skyhawk.
Oh, yeah? I didn't have him as a kid. I had one. I got one a couple years ago at a convention, but I never had the Skyhawk as a kid. But always a big Major Blood fan.
Yep.
Who's
I don't know
who got shot down?
Actually, that is a no-name green shirt, a custom that I made, based on the sort of almost Duke no-name green shirt from the card art. I think it was like a short fuse head or something like that, and then just generic parts from the OG 13s just to cobble together to make someone with a green shirt that could sit in the cockpit.
He's toast.
He's absolutely toast.
I love it.
Have you? Are you reading the new comic book series, Duke?
I haven't been able to find a single copy. I've read all of the previews that are online. Go to all the comic book shops, and that one's super popular. I really want to get into it because I'm loving Cobra Commander, and I'm not sure if you can tell or not, but I am so into the Transformers series right now.
It's really good.
It's so
I'm not
good.
a Transformers guy, but I really like that series.
I'm not I'm a G1 Transformers guy because I like the nostalgia. I recognize that it's very silly. And GI Joe the cartoon, that was very silly too. But I mean,
Very.
I just like being nostalgic over Optimus, and I loved Hound because he looked like a vamp and that sort of thing. So there's a lot of crossover between Transformers and GI Joe in my childhood. And I historically I like comic book art, but I wasn't into a lot of the Transformers comic book stories. So I have a lot of the comics just for the arts or the covers or whatever. And I kind of stayed away from this one because of my history with Transformers comics and whatnot. But after seeing some of the previews and reading some of the reviews and picked it up, and I love it. I've read it so many times. I can't wait until the next issue.
Oh, I know. I just read Deep 3. It made me think it because Major Blood's in it.
Right. Yep.
So,
And what's his squad called? The Bloodhound?
Bloodhounds. Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say that because I don't want to spoil anything, but it's
Oh,
pretty
sorry.
cool.
Sorry.
No, I mean to you. I didn't want to spoil anything.
Oh,
to
okay.
you.
Right. No. No, I'm not a spoiler free kind of guy. I like to spoil it, and then usually after I watch a movie, then I'll go on Wikipedia and read the summary, and then I'll read reviews about it and whatnot. So yeah, nothing spoiled here.
Yeah. Duke,
I know.
Cobra Commander, all of them. Great. Transformers, great. Void Rivals, great.
I haven't touched
Everything in
Void
that whole
Rivals yet.
It's good. It's
Is
really
it?
good. Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
Now
What do you
you're
think
all
of
going-
what do you think of Cobra Law?
You know what? I was never a big Cobra Law fan, but I think it's working in this Cobra series.
Yeah.
Cobra
Same.
Commander series.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right there. I was surprised, as I'm sure a lot of people were, when it debuted in the comic, and again, a lot of people I'm sure had the same gut reaction that I did. That like, what? I'm not sure if I'm into this. By the end of that comic, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm in.
into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm digging it. It wasn't the way I would have gone with a Cobra Commander comic. I really like the used carman, car
Yeah.
salesman backstory, but that's nostalgic from my point of view. And I guess, I mean, you could get nostalgia for Cobra Law, but it wasn't super popular among me and my friends. But I really like the twist they've put on it. I like a lot of the yeah, there you go, Ronnie. Where was it going? I like a lot of the, I don't want to say callbacks, but the first picture of the Cobra Law doctor we get in the comic looks a lot like Cobra Commander from the '86 movie. And he's yelling surrender. So, we're kind of led to believe that's Cobra Commander. That's his MO. He retreats. And then the real Coco just executes him and sets a new tone and a new standard for kind of this Coco in the universe. And yeah, I really like the way they handled it, and I'm definitely on board.
I mean, we still got the other Cobra Commander in Hama's comic though, so I love having two takes on it now.
Absolutely. The universe is so rich that you can have multiple takes on it.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm not a huge stickler for canon. I just like a good story.
Right. Yeah. That's what I look for.
Yep.
I like good stories.
That's so cool.
Right.
I love shooting the stinger. That matte black finish and the red just pops.
That's beautiful. Y'all talking about the comics are going to make me have to start buying comics again.
I'm telling you, you cannot oversell these Energon stories. They're so good.
You won't be disappointed.
Yeah. I've been listening to a lot of the reviews and read-throughs of them on podcasts, and they sound so good. I mean, but it's been so long since I've subscribed to a comic book. I got out of them maybe close to 10 years ago.
Right.
And just haven't picked them back up. So y'all are killing me.
What were you reading 10 years ago? What was the last comic you remember?
I remember buying some Shazam. Whenever the new 52 kicked in was about the time I was like done.
Right. I got the whole Capullo run on Batman, and that was kind of my I kind of took a rest after that.
I like the Jeff Johns Justice League. I thought that was really good.
Yeah. Yep. They really butchered one of my favorite characters. Is one reason why I quit buying DC. And then I was buying G.I. Joe, and then they killed killed Snake Eyes.
Yep.
And I couldn't keep up with what was going on with that. I was getting the books, but it just didn't make sense to me.
Mm.
And then I was reading Hellboy and BPRD.
Yep.
And finally, I was just like, nope, I'm done. Now that's cool.
Right.
Switchblade.
That is sick.
I mean, Mask and GI Joe.
Yeah.
It's like it just goes together.
Yep. I love that.
Yeah, I had a spare Skyhawk that I bought for parts to complete another one. So, I thought, well, this kind of looks similar to a Switchblade.
Yeah.
And I actually have a Miles Mayhem custom O-ring figure to go with it, and a matte tracker to go with the Vamp that I turned into the Thunderhawk.
Yeah. That is incredible. I like the gunfire, the light behind it. It pops. How did you do the glass in the canopy?
The glass is just like plastic from like toy box packaging plastic,
Okay.
and then use the translucent red paint and airbrush that on the plastic, and then glued it on from the inside. The top one in the center, that top piece, I had to take a hairdryer to it and soften it up a little bit because it's the only one of all those glass that's angled. There's a little bit of a curvature on the top of that, so yeah, just heat that up a little bit and make it fit into place, and glue it in, and clamp it, and when it cools down, it kind of stays.
You did good, kid.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. That's kind of a throwback to Star Wars.
That is a tiny, tiny Rattler. That I 3D printed.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
And then, and paint it. There's my camera. Let's get all the missiles in here. Let's pop them off there. There, yeah. So you get all the missiles underneath, and the canopy's sort of see-through. Not really, a little bit. But yeah, anyway, it was just supposed to be in the background, out of focus, so I didn't have to really nail details. And he was on the stand, so I may as well do this too. This is a work in progress and needs a little paint, but you got the He-Man body there, and I made an original He-Man head.
Awesome.
And then we got the sword, and we got the shield, so let's throw some paint on there, and he'll be ready to go.
Cool.
Nice. Oh, this is a great picture.
Yeah. Is he on the flag?
It's no, it's like mountains. He's kind of running in the background. And
okay.
Yeah.
I seen the box behind him, and I thought that might have been part of the flag.
Right. No, that is actually, and just bear with me.
Yep.
That is actually a tiny little Wolverine that I printed.
Okay.
The missiles come out. And then I took a guitar string and made a tow rope.
Sweet.
The detail's just insane.
Yeah.
And that was just me learning how to use the 3D modeling software.
You do an amazing job on that.
Thank you. And now I lost all my missiles. I'm just going to put this down. I swear I'm an adult.
I'm telling you, the struggle was only finding around 20 pictures I wanted to put on
here. Yeah, another 3D print. I got tired. Well, not tired. I mean, it wasn't a long wait, but I got impatient waiting for the Televipers to come out, and I really wanted that gun camera thing to light up. And honestly, I wanted the goggles to light up too, and I know how to do it. It's just going to be a lot of work, and I kind of got uninspired to finish that. But yeah, so I 3D printed the head and the helmet and the gun and the backpack, and then put a small coin cell battery in the backpack and LED inside of the gun. The lens is just printed clear, and then I put some purple gel inside, and that makes the purple light.
Wow. What? On the visors, what was you thinking about doing with them?
Oh, it's got to say ouch.
Gotcha.
Like the what is it, the Cylon Battlestar Galactica style, or the kit car kind of,
Yeah.
but it's reversed because the ouch is written from his perspective, if you
Yeah.
notice on the cartoon. Yeah, so I just wanted that scrolling around there.
Gotcha.
If I got really inventive, well, not inventive, I'm not inventing anything. If I got really ambitious, I could have it dynamic. So, you just have a keyboard and Bluetooth or whatever, and you type in whatever message you want to
Yeah.
have come across the screen. But I got racetracks to build before I do that.
That's fancy. I was going to say one thing you might be able to do, and this is how I did the visor on the airborne that I just did.
Yeah.
Is I did a matte black or a gloss black, and then just marbled it.
Okay.
But instead of doing all the different marble colors, you could do just write like the ouch backwards, and then go over
Right.
with a translucent color, do like a gold ouch, and then translucent, and it'd be like a poop.
Yeah, that would definitely work.
I mean, it's a thought, it's a try. If you don't want to go in elbows deep on trying to do the one, but
Yeah.
your thought would look a lot better though than what I was thinking.
Men are opinion, and there's a lot to be said for execution. So
I tried doing the writing stuff one time, and it turned out like spit on a wall, and wasn't pretty.
Yeah.
Hi, Rachel.
Hey.
This is awesome too. I love the Fang.
Hands up, who is infuriated at these missiles? Because they don't stay on. You look at them and they fall off. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Still love the toy though. It's a great toy.
Oh yeah.
I had two. I got it at a yard sale when I was a kid. Neither were complete. I didn't have the missiles or the roll cage until eBay. And I only have one roll cage now. The rest I've been just printing. Yeah, great vehicle, great concept. 100% unsafe.
Oh yeah. No, I would love to see a classified Fang. I think.
Yeah.
I have the modern one that they did a year or so ago.
Yep.
And I was trying to fit the missiles on the skids, and they kept popping off.
Yep.
And I got fat thumbs, and I got a heck of a grip, and I was pushing down. All of a sudden, it just like launched, and I was like, "Oh shoot! Did I just break it?" Now I think I folded the clips down and just like pew. But
that's not a bug. It's not a bug. That's a feature.
Yeah.
But I was like, "Oh shoot! Did I just break a new toy?"
Speaking of launching rockets,
right?
Now I'm fully aware that he is supposed to be left-handed, and that the backpack is the support for the rocket launcher and everything. However, in the North America, we tend to read from left to right, so I try to have my action going from left to right, and that's the whole reason why I inverted his grip on this one.
I like it.
It's great. Yeah, I would never give it a thought.
Their helmets kind of throw me off because they're kind of blind on the one side.
I used to think that there's just so much tech in that helmet. He only needs to see out of one eye.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He might have a targeting for on the left side.
Any troop builders from the O-rings for Cobras. I mean, all of them.
Yep.
Alley Vipers, Hay Vipers, Bragg Vipers. Love them all. I know a couple years ago, I just went on a binge at Joe Fest just buying troop builders.
I'd love to go to Joe Fest, and I mean it's a bit of a trek for me. And some year I'm going to make it there, but
I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love to meet all you guys.
Well, the way we're rolling it this year is Casey's rolling into in my house, and then I'm driving the rest of the way. So if you can make it to West Virginia,
When is it?
Joe
Uh,
Fest.
June
Yeah.
23rd, I think. So it's like 3 days. I think
Yep.
it's 23rd or 24th it starts.
Right.
But it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Last year was the best.
Was last year the first year they did it in person, or was that the year before?
No. I don't think they've ever stopped doing it in person
Okay.
since they started, because this will be my 4th year in a row going.
Nice.
So, but now I talk to more people because I'm shy by nature.
Yeah. Same.
I'm getting out
Yeah.
there, getting to meet people. Last year was the best. I'm looking
Awesome.
forward to another year like that. Now, this one I really apologize for the wasted space because I love this picture so much.
Yeah. I love that.
Another cover recreation.
Yeah.
This one was easier than usual because so much of the rattler is off screen. I could just have just a single clamp holding the tail, and then
Yeah.
I mean, super easy to bang this one off.
Still or better to be scrambling.
Yeah, that's right. That was one of the first dioramas that I made completely by accident. I thought I could take a propane torch to it and kind of just melt it gently. Oh no, there's nothing gentle about a propane torch. That was just
No.
full on, got holes in it and everything. I'm like, oh well, okay, then this is going to
Yeah.
be a bit of a waste scene, but no, it works perfect. The
It does, yes.
yeah, it looks like the tracks, you can kind of tank tracks treads there, and yeah, it gets a lot of use.
I like that. Nailed it. Oh, big bada boom.
Got him.
Nailed it.
It's like every Subbo cartoon.
Yeah.
I don't know how many Sky Strikers they blew up in Subbo.
Oh, all of them.
Yeah. The one shot you did with Ace ejecting, that was like his favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any on-screen appearance of a jet going down without someone actually
Right.
jumping out. Like they always showed someone jumping out, Joe or Cobra. As far as I know, I reserve the right to be wrong.
Yeah, I love the fangs where they're jumping out.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking they'd lose their heads if they tried that, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
They really got tuck and roll out of there.
Yeah. Or the gliders.
Yeah.
Another great one. I love this.
This guy. I really like the way the explosion worked on this one.
Yeah. Something got toasted just off to the left of him.
Yeah.
And this is going to be one of my things I search for at Joe Fest this year. So I do not have them all, and I won't.
It's
Didn't have one as a
so
kid either.
good. It's so good. I didn't have it as a kid. This one I got actually local, just up the street from me. A guy had one with the box.
Wow.
Found it on Kijiji. Went up and bought it. He didn't tell me he had the box, so just just block up and went up, and I think it was $80 or something. So picked it up, brought it. Yeah, brought it back home. Checked all the pieces. Everything was there. Put it all together, and then I get a call. Hey, bud, I just found the box for it. You want to come up and get it? So yeah, I got the box for it too. Pretty pleased. Do your dives background get much reuse? Sorry, just seeing Rachel's comment there. I have a small collection of diodes. I've got two kind of 2x2 square foam bases, one of which was used in that last shot we were just talking about. And the debris, the construction debris diorama that's kind of like a wasteland city. So there's those two. I've got a cave, but the cave can come off of the bottom, so that kind of gets dual purpose, and I can use the front or the back. And I painted the back side of the diorama darker as like the Cobra side, and then the front side's got more grass and more greenery, so it's the Joe side. So just a few dioramas, and then anything else I'll purpose build. but I try to get more than just one shot out of a build. So, yeah, I'm always thinking of ways that I can use something somewhere else. Storage space for embarrassing is what it looks like. um, I've got a 3-bedroom house that I use as basically the whole thing's a workshop, with the exception of the bathroom and the bedroom and even the kitchen. There's I have a chainsaw on my kitchen counter right now
Nice.
because I mean you just gotta, sometimes there's things inside you just gotta cut with a chainsaw. It's just easier.
Yeah.
Right.
Faster. Yeah, it's no problem. Yeah, so there's stuff all over the place. And as I mentioned earlier, building the massive Hot Wheels racetrack, I mean, there's just foam and wood and nails and screws and everything all over the place. So I've got a couple of shelves that I keep around my my photo area, which is in front of my picture window in the main. The adults call it the living room, but I call it my photo studio. And then I've got a blackout sheet that goes in front of that giant picture window so I can get some light spill from each side. And if I want to get like an outside sky blue shot when the weather's nice, I can just take down that black, and then I've got a nice outdoor background. So yeah, I just keep everything real handy on those 2 shelves. So as I'm setting up a shop, I can just turn to the left or turn to the right and pick up explosions or blast effects or rocks or whatever I need. People laugh. I've got a few boxes of older Dio stuff that I don't use a lot, and I labeled them and I put them up high. And one says foam rocks, and the other one says rock rocks. And obviously, one is way heavier than the other.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
The man.
Yep.
Yeah. Somebody's having a bad day.
Now those are just little LEDs.
That's
Sure.
all it is. Just yep, little LEDs on the front of those guns. Going back to comics, as we were discussing before, I'm a huge Travis Charest fan. He did a lot
Me
of
too. Yeah.
stuff for Wildcats and whatnot. There's a particular, in my memory, it was a 2-page double page spread. I think Wildcats 21 of the second. I don't know. Anyway, the spread is of, I forget her name, but the girl that had the metal mouth and the mohawk, and she's driving.
Maxine?
Yes, and she's driving the convertible, and the
Yeah.
convertible's going over something. Or anyway, it's just white background, convertible profile, and she's double guns just blazing, and I just loved that shot. So this was that shot inspired this, and I tried to set it up kind of frame the same way as Travis did his picture, and it didn't work. So I had to really tweak the perspective to get this one to pop the way it would. But yeah, that was the basis of this one.
I like
Yeah, I
that.
still think his grifter is one of my favorite grifters.
Yep. And his X-Men Wildcats work, that's
Yeah.
some gorgeous stuff.
So, how did you get Snake Eyes to stay there?
Hot glue. 99% of the time, the answer to the question is hot glue.
Okay.
Hot glued the bike. So first I had to hot glue the wheel, the front wheel, so it wouldn't spin.
Uh-huh.
And then I hot glued that wheel to the table. And then I hot glued some slate pieces of rock to the table to hide the hot glue that was gluing the bike to the table. And then I had to hot glue Snake Eyes to the motorbike. And then I had to fix it all because I didn't do enough hot glue and it all fell down. And then put the LEDs on and take the picture. So this one was probably a little longer than the regular 45 minutes, but yeah, I was pretty happy with the way it turned out. And I think this was my getting into using bounced light phase. When I first started, I was big into rim light and hard light, and a lot of my shots were very I'm not sure the word, but a lot more hard light, not a lot of soft light. It made the figure pop, but it wasn't good for details, and so anyway, did some research and some reading and got into bounced light. And yeah, this is one of my first attempts at bouncing light onto snake eyes with not a lot of rim light going on.
I like it. Is it hard to get the glue off of them?
No, it just pops right off. Yeah, it's real easy.
Oh my gosh.
That is literally just like construction wrapping paper, the brown cost effective wrapping paper, a lot of it. And I just made a cone and peeled back one edge so I can get the camera in, and one single light at the top coming down on them. And that's it.
Wow. That is beautiful.
Very happy with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see why. Have you ever thought about doing a book?
Yeah, to the point that I'm in the stage of vetting photos for it. Starting the writing process. There won't be a lot of writing because it's just going to be a coffee table picture book. But this is probably wishful thinking. But ETA Christmas this year.
Sweet. So you heard it here first.
Kickstarter, or
Sorry?
are you going to do a Kickstarter or?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm just gonna, probably publish on Amazon and sell it there.
Make sure you give us a heads up.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'll definitely
down for that.
Yeah.
I've been holding out. I've been intending to do a book for a number of years now. And honestly, I've been holding out for the USS Flag because I really wanted that to be the cover of it. And I wanted to complete all of the box art from 82 to 85. And that's one of the few things I have left to do. And I haven't been able to track one down at a reasonable price yet.
Right.
But I don't think that's going to happen before Christmas. And I'd really like to get this out. So
Yeah.
I'm probably going to come up with another one for the cover, and yeah, hoping to have it out by the end of the year.
Man.
So Ronnie's asking, do you do any editing of your photographs? And if so, what do you use?
I use Photoshop to transfer from the camera to the computer, and basically that's just converting the raw camera file into JPEG. I'll do like a color balance. I hit the auto button, and then I de-exaggerate that. So if whatever the auto button does is 100%, then I'll de-exaggerate that down to 10%. And then I'll export that as a JPEG and put it on my phone, and I'll hit the auto button again, and then I'll de-exaggerate that down to 10%. And then that's my final photo.
That's amazing.
Now, I really want to see a hit and run in classified too, by the way.
Yeah, that'd be pretty deadly. I'm sure we're going to get it.
Looks like that was it.
That was the one you just played. That was the easiest shot I've ever done.
Really?
No, that white background. Sorry, I was being facetious.
Oh.
That's a snow job in a blizzard.
Exactly. And icebergs there too, but you can't tell.
Yeah. So
I'll throw frostbite in.
Antarctica.
There you go.
Listen,
so, these are all amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely. You get that book ready to go, hit us up, because we'll probably be number 1 and 2 on that Amazon list to get that.
One of my favorite pictures that you've done is of Ripcord, where he's coming down. There's like, I think there's explosions behind him.
Yep.
And I'm like, man, that is tight.
That was trying to recreate the box art, but I didn't go full box art. It was not a black background. I wanted to have the box art pose, but in a kind of a real life situation. I just want to see what it was like to have more than one explosion going off in the background. What are pros and cons being worth? Oh, wow. Well, the big con is scale in and of itself. Just because all my dios that I had made before Classified came out were at 3 3/4 scale.
Right.
So the first thing I had to do when I got classified was rescale some things or make them bigger or that, and that was a bit of a learning curve. And even lighting too. I had to think about lighting a little bit different because the figures are bigger, and then that's making composition bigger, and I need more depth and whatnot. So I can't do massively big classified shots yet. I've got the hiss. I still haven't opened it. I'm kind of waiting for the vamp and the HMS and all that stuff. I've got like 13 or 14 classified figures plus multiples that I haven't opened. I'm just sitting making a big old pile. So when it all comes in with the vehicles, I'm gonna build one massive dio and just have a big old fight scene with everything all together. Yeah, scale. So the size difference, because I mean, you scale your figure, and then you got to scale your lights, you got to scale your depth, your distance, and all that, and that was challenging off the top. Um, Classified, they're a lot more posable. You can get you can get a lot more emotion out of them. Um, Whereas the obviously we're limited with the O-ring figures, but I like the limitations. I have a saying, liberation through limitation. So for me, the way I think, if there are no limits, like digital, you can do anything, it's all possible, then I get lost. But if there's limitations, if I have a clear defined rule set that I can work in, then I can improvise, and I think better. So I really enjoy the limitations of the O-ring line, and I kind of gravitate towards that better, gravitate towards that more. Yeah. So pros and cons, as with anything. Same with the difference between shooting vehicles and shooting figures. Yeah, you need more space with the vehicles, especially the bigger ones. Need bigger dios and that sort of thing.
So if you get a flag, are you gonna make a dio for that?
Oh yeah, yep. I've already roughed it out in the basement. It's gonna have to be in the basement. It's got to be I think it's a 24-foot background by 8 feet high
Wow.
in order to get the explosion in there. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a massive resin pour for the water, or if I'm just going to do like my cellophane water technique. I kind of want to do the resin pour, but at the same time, I'd like to have things underwater, like eels and whatnot swimming underwater. And there's no way I'm going to put a vintage eel in resin.
No. Man.
Find you a couple meters.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll have to be back on before your book launches. And
oh yeah, definitely.
Love to.
Oh yeah. I can't even express. Is there any tips you want to give us for taking pictures?
Just do it. Just go there and do it. I mean, as long as you're having fun and you're enjoying it, there's no wrong answers. This is art. You make it what you wanted it to be. So if you want to take better pictures, then you just got to do it. It's practice, just like anything. And perfect practice makes perfect. So watch other people, see what they're doing, strike up a conversation, and people are nice, people are helpful. At least I've found in the GI Joe community and toy photography in general, like we like doing this and we like talking about it. And yeah, I mean, me personally, I'd love to talk about. That's why I'm here. We're talking about toys. We're talking about photography. So yeah, just get out there and do it. Use whatever you got. You don't need expensive cameras. You don't need to buy expensive lights. You don't need to do that. You can if you want. There's nothing wrong with that. But you got an iPhone, you got a Samsung, you got whatever, an old analog camera. Just, get out there and do something.
My next question was going to be, what kind of camera do you use?
I'm using a Canon Rebel T1i. It's Canon's entry level from like 10 or 15 years ago.
Okay.
15 megapixel, millipixels, MPs. There's 15 of them. Whatever there's 15 of them. So it's not like a super high-end camera. I don't really know a lot about photography. I just know like how to press the button on my iPhone, and that used to be my folks. They kind of forgot. They bought it for a vacation. They went on vacation and then forgot they had it, and so just gifted it to me, and I've been using that ever since. Now I have been looking at I think it's called the E90. It's a new Canon one, but I don't know enough about cameras to know what features I need. I just would like to have something better. At the end of the day, I mean, I started taking pictures on the iPhone, and my favorite shot, the one of the comic recreate, the salute and the Sky Striker and Rattler, that was done with my iPhone. So use what you got.
I remember the setup on that, and your iPhone was like cracked all the crap.
Yep.
I was like, that's a man right there. We're together.
So Rachel's asking, when you get your flag, are you going to build the interior below deck?
Sort of. I'm not going to do the interior. I love the idea, and I love what everyone else has done. Michael Mercy and Steve and those boys. I would rather have, or I think me personally, I want just the exterior of the hull. In my mind, like the bottoms kind of got that reddish orange rust kind of look to it, and pardon my words, but the bulbous front, that I kind of want that on it, and I'd like to make propellers and things like that. So I'd like to make it more real and more of a diorama installed kind of, and that's where I'm on the fence with the resin pour or just doing the regular water. But yeah, I'd like the conventional ship's hull for the underneath.
Yeah, I don't have my hull on mine right now because it's got a bend to it. Plus, at the angle I got to sit, and you can't really tell.
G.I. Joeberg, that's who I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
Them boys did some good work there.
Oh yeah.
Guy from Stan Solo, he's went and built a wooden hull, and he's got like rooms and everything, and it comes to a point, and it's basically ship accurate.
Yeah.
And he's going to mount that mount the top of it to that. And he sent me some pictures. I'll have to send them to you. He's painted it. Looks amazing. I haven't seen it completed yet. He's going to have that at an expo this weekend in Parkersburg, just north of me. And I wasn't able to get to there, but he sent me a bunch of pictures. I'm like, oh man, this is amazing. But
there's so many people doing amazing stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, including you.
Now, in the meantime, with the Hot Wheels track that I'm making, there is a water feature that will have a USS flag. Now, the good news is at that scale, the flag's only like a little over 2 feet. But I can have the flag, I can have Sky Strikers taking off and Rattlers all around them. And yeah, so that will be part of the background to this G.I. Joe, Transformers, Hot Wheels. There's probably going to be a Terradrome in the background there somewhere. And of course, we're going to have the Autobot Ark crashed into the mountain. And yeah, I'll kind of just, I mean, it's a massive diorama, so I can put all kinds of little things in here and there. And yeah, it's,
looks like I'm heading north with my Hot Wheels collection.
You collect Hot Wheels too?
No, not many. I have a Spider-Man one from 1978.
Nice.
And I messaged Hot Wheels about getting the axles fixed on it.
Right.
And they just like, you need to do this, this, and this, and this, and this. And I'm like, you're not making any sense. This is what I got. But I'm sure that they're going to say, no, we can't go back that far and fix that.
Are the axles bent? What's the issue?
Oh yeah, they're trash. It was my childhood.
Right.
Car.
Right.
And it's a black car with spider legs coming down off of it.
Are you comfortable drilling out the rivets, or would you rather not do that?
I'd rather not do that.
Yeah,
that's scary.
Yeah. The hard thing is the only other way to do it is to physically cut that axle and put a new one on, but then you have to glue that axle to the wheel. So there's no not real good non-destructive way that I found anyway to repair wheels. Yeah.
But
as I'm sitting here looking at my the Hound.
Oh, that's cool.
That I made with the custom wheels on there. And what else we got? We got a breakdown.
Sweet.
With the guns, because I mean they have to have big weird guns on the top. And this one, we got the drag strip.
That's cool.
And of course, you need your roller.
Yeah.
And you need your Optimus Prime.
Oh,
That's beautiful.
And the headlights and taillights will light up in that as well. I still need to put some paint on there, but that's all 3D printed. The wheels run. This will pop off, which I probably can't do now because I'm on camera. Oh, yeah, I did it. And then it is big enough that
that's cool.
get Jackie inside of there. And I got a Sunstreaker. Made some exhausts and the tail fin on there. And
That's cool.
yeah, so these guys are going to be racing soon.
Nice.
Nice.
Is
The
there
Spider-Man-
Go ahead, Hillbilly.
I was going. Sorry, the Spider-Man car it even has like it kind of like tapers to the back,
Okay.
real wide, and it says "Amazing Spider-Man" across the back of it, the top. It has
Yeah.
spider webs coming, and
Nice.
I'll send you a picture.
Yeah.
Of it.
Yeah.
It's rough, but man, it survived me as a child. So
I was going to ask if there's any toy lines you haven't photographed that you want to, or is it you're just Joe Transformers mostly?
I have some. As I'm looking at them now, I got a shelf of Marvel Legends that I bought with the intent of taking photos, and it never happened. So yeah, I really wanted to do a Spider-Man Venom one. I've got an idea for the webs with hot glue. Anyone that's used hot glue even just a little bit knows how stringy that stuff gets. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's perfect webbing. So I've been saving all the stringies for the last 3 or 4 years, and I've got a big can of it so I can make like a lot of webs. But I haven't got around to that. I've got the Hulk Wolverine 2-pack from the comic, and yeah, I want to do something with that. The X-Men from issue 275 with their yellow and blue outfits. I want to do something with that. I got like 7 or 8 different Wolverines, and yeah, I've done a little bit of Marvel Legends and stuff like that, but yeah, it's mostly Joe and a little bit of Transformers.
very cool.
Nice. You got any besides the book, which we're excited for? You got anything else coming up you want to let people know about?
It's the book. Stay tuned for a new YouTube channel, Giant Diecast Robot Racing, I think, where the I in Giant is actually number 1, so it's G1 Giant Diecast Robot Racing. Don't look for, well, I mean, you can look for it if you want, but it's not there yet. Yeah, so yeah, some Hot Wheels races with G.I. Joe Transformer themed, hopefully a coffee table picture book. Yeah, that's the immediate future.
Now,
Sweet.
before the YouTube channel comes up, come back on here and we'll talk about it. We'll throw it out there. So, I mean, probably don't need our help, but we'd love to help.
Yeah.
You guys are amazing. I'd love to do that.
Yes.
We're not worthy.
Coming on today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Big supporter. Definitely going to have to do this again. I got to get these slides down better because I'm telling you, except for a few of the bigger ones, I didn't do them justice. I could just sit there and doom scroll on your pictures. Thanks, Ronnie.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Thank you.
So,
any last questions, Eric?
Yes. Who was your first Joe you ever got?
That was Ripcord.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's your?
I very distinctly remember my mom and dad taking me to the Eaton's shopping center. I was 5 years old. The Joe cartoon had just come on. I was watching it every day. I just turned 5, so I wasn't in school yet. 7:30 every morning, I'd be up to watch that show. Loved G.I. Joe. Duke was my favorite. Wanted a Duke. Looked all over the pegs, couldn't find a Duke. Ripcord looked close enough like Duke for me, and that's it. That's my guy. So yeah, Ripcord was my first.
Who's your favorite?
Back in the day, Duke, but I mean, it's always Snake Eyes.
Oh yeah,
V2 Snake Eyes. Yep.
Okay, nice.
Now, I mean, taking taking that out of the picture, then I got to go with Gung Ho.
Quick question. Me and Eric's having a debate. Which is better, version 3 Snake Eyes or version 4 Snake Eyes?
So version 3 is like the goggles and the trench knives.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the other one is the blue and red ski goggle kind of thing. Oh, this is loaded.
There's no wrong answer.
No. So I'm going to
there
preface by saying for me, it's number 3, but I see the appeal of the other one.
Yeah.
It's all what you grew up with.
Right.
It really is.
I mean, I grew up with version 1. That was
Right.
my Snake Eyes.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah.
And
I got the version 3 bought with my own money, 1989, and I got that before I got version 2. Version 2 was always my favorite, but I mean, I was too late to the party, and so 9 years old, got version 3, and it was black. It looked close enough. It had a sword. It had the Uzi. So it was close enough to Snake Eyes that I recognized him as Snake Eyes. But the fourth one, if you didn't tell me, or if I didn't read the comic or know that it was Snake Eyes, I probably wouldn't have made that connection.
I think that's why I like it. I mean, it's just slightly better to me. I like all of it.
Have you seen that new 6-inch?
So much. Which one?
I think there's a new 6-inch
Mezco. The Mezco.
Yeah.
No, I haven't got any Mezco. I don't trust myself.
No, neither do I. That's yeah. I mean, it was hard enough scaling up from 3 3/4 to 6-inch or 12-inch. Yeah.
I seen the new Snake Eyes Mezco with the timber.
Yeah.
Somebody's already putting pictures out there. I can't remember who's done it, but man, it's amazing looking.
Yeah. I'm seeing pictures of Airborne Classified out there, and it just kills me because that's my favorite. I've had them pre-order forever. I want them.
And so I didn't get my first version 2 Snake Eyes until I met this guy named Mate Mylar on Instagram.
I remember that.
And we got to talking.
Yep.
So I got him, and then I went to Heroes Con in Charlotte. And they had a complete Snake Eyes, guns, swords, timber, file card. I got $20 in him.
Amazing.
Well, I did some wheeling and dealing, and I flipped a thing that I found as a Apache Chief from Super Friends. It was a Build-A-Figure.
Yeah.
I paid $5 for him, flipped him for like 60.
Nice.
So then I got that Snake Eyes, and a good friend of mine, 73 Lair Bear, did not have a Snake Eyes. So I was like, man, shoot me your address.
Yep.
So your Snake Eyes is in Tennessee now, in really good hands.
The 73 Lair Bear?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. That's amazing.
Yeah. And he's a great guy.
He is. Yeah.
Definitely.
So he's like, I was like, shoot me your address. He's like, you're not going to come visit me, are you? I was like, yes, I'm bringing the clan down. We're going to stay for a spell. But no, I was like, I'm sending you something. He opened it up, and I think he about fell over. So
yeah, it's a nice gift.
But
I'm so happy to hear that.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you, man. I mean, thank you so much. I mean, you're like one of the nicest people I've ran into on Instagram.
Oh, wow.
Other than 73 Lair Bear, Casey, Nick, it was in the chat there a while ago. So,
Ronnie.
Yeah, Ronnie.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody's been so awesome. And, they talk about being a community. It's not a community. We're not a community. We're a family.
Yeah.
And I'll step off my milk crate, and I get wound up. I can't help it.
It's passion, brother. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I do have one question I always ask before the end of every show. Is there a book series, cartoon, film, TV show, anything that doesn't have a toy line that you would love to see a toy line for that you would just be all in on, that you would just buy and hopefully photograph?
That is a good question.
We've had a lot of great answers.
Yeah.
I mean, some just blow my mind. I'm like, I didn't think of that.
I'm completely stumped. I'm sure there is, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Well, while you're thinking,
all I can think of is toy lines that haven't been rebooted yet.
I mean, that's fine too. It's just like a modern toy line that they're not making right now that you would just love to see. I mean, you can even pick the scale.
Starcom.
that would be cool.
Yeah.
I don't think I know that.
The figures had magnets in their feet, and the magnets actuated stuff on the vehicles, and they had really slick spaceship designs. The toy was in cooperation with NASA. There was a TV show and everything, and it wasn't super popular. I think it was the late 80s, like maybe 88 or 89. So I was getting some of that stuff when I was getting G.I. Joes for Christmas and whatnot. So yeah, a lot of my childhood memories are wrapped up in Starcom, a little bit of Air Raiders, but yeah, more Starcom. I've been looking at some vintage Starcom vehicles, and they are prohibitively expensive. So yeah.
I would sometimes nostalgia is costly.
That's right.
I would have said Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling.
Oh yeah.
But we've hit an hour and a half. I just unless you got anything else, Hillbilly.
No, I'll get Mate's opinion on something. I'm working on an unmasked torpedo.
Ooh.
Without the swim gear.
Yeah, without the white headpiece.
And
without all of it. He's
wearing
camo.
Oh, okay.
And then where's it at?
Yeah.
He's all Marauders. I need to get a hat.
Okay.
So I need to put a hat on him. I'm wanting to get a boonie cap. But is there anything you see that you would do different? Or I need to tweak?
Man. No.
He looks good. He looks really, really good.
You're nailing it. And okay, it's like me and that tomahawk with the explosion in the background. I'm so close to the minutia of it that I'm picking out those things. So you're seeing things that Casey and I aren't going to notice. Yeah, you're doing good work, brother.
Well, I value your opinion, and any little tweaks I can do to improve something, I'll do my best. Like I wish
you're already doing it.
I wish I wouldn't have mounted his knife to where's it at? His ankle here.
Yep.
I wish I'd have put it up here.
Right.
On his chest where he could just. But
let's get another one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Too nice.
Thanks, Casey.
Deer
Festival will be dangerous.
So many good. Marauders. I always spend a bunch of money on Marauders because I'm redoing the original 13 out of Marauders, how I see them.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna move on to the 83s after that. So a lot of good stuff, but it's just for fun.
Yeah.
This is a better hobby than other things any of us could be into.
Right.
I mean, this is just good, clean fun until you start spilling paint.
Hey, Kiwi. Catch us at the end, buddy.
Yo, Joe.
So
glad you made it here.
Yeah.
Thanks again, guys. I really appreciate this.
Thank you for coming on, man.
We will do it again for sure.
Definitely.
You continued to blow my mind, and I can't wait to see what you have in the future.
Thank you so much.
Looking forward to the Hot Wheels racing.
Yes. Right on.
In the book.
Yeah, definitely.
Coming soon.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Yo, Joe.